Hello, it's Jared McBride. It is December 28th. It's 3 a.m. and I am at work. I just want to make a quick video for entry 4 to 3 entity equilibrium because I'm running out of time. I barely have time anymore. I got a fight coming up 26th, and I just wanted to make a video about the body. I'm gonna incorporate the mind also, but I'm gonna try to explain why in this material world there is actually nothing that you cannot do. So there's no impossibilities in this reality. I'm going to explain it really quick, hopefully, and maybe you can comment about it, and you can disagree. But most of the things I'm drawing from are scientific. I can't say facts, but scientific theory, and I'm going to try to relate it to religion or belief in God somewhat. But a lot of it is just mainly scientific and drawing from those conclusions of why there is no impossibility in this reality. So let me just go from there. Alright, so I'm going to draw it out. Okay, so let's start off with a source. This source could be whatever you want it to be. Okay, we really don't know. It's a source. This source could be God, if you feel comfortable with it being God. It can be the original star that was in our solar system, or it can be some other intellectual designing mechanism, okay, or entity. All right. So whatever that is, it had a first initial step. So whatever this is, the source was immovable. Okay. Now this is drawn from a philosophical ideal that whatever the original thing is, or original source is, it had to be immovable because it created everything else from that original point. Okay. So let's go from there. Whatever it created, let's say, and this just to be a little bit more mundane, a star. Okay. From this source, it created a star. From that star, it had an explosion, or it had a means to create. Okay, so I'm just going to make a cloud, just to make things easier. Cloud, explosion, whatever you want it to be, that's what it is. Okay, it's really irrelevant because I'm trying to get to a point. Okay, that created our sun, which is also a star. This is our sun. Now our sun is in the middle, the center of our solar system. Okay, that's pretty significant because it is the most important thing to us, and it also causes the movement of every other planet in our solar system because it's the largest thing in our solar system. So it's very significant. So from whatever source we've had, it made this sun to be most significant. Now, whether it was designed that way intentionally or not, that's debatable. But the point is that the sun is here, and it is very significant. Okay. Now, whether or not also that there was a rock here with water, molten lava, land, some of the above, all of the above, doesn't matter. It's our Earth. Okay. Our Earth is quite dependent on the sun. At least the inhabitants that live on top of it are. Okay. Now, due to the heating of the sun, the radiation, the effect of the water, the molten lava shaping and all that stuff, and the core of the Earth, it created us, right? Maybe single-celled organisms. But from that, there was something else, and that's DNA. Okay, that's DNA right there. I drew it kind of bad. Now let's go from DNA. I'm trying to make this quick as possible. Okay, DNA. I'm going to draw it like this, just for quickness. Okay, so what is DNA? DNA is, deoxynucleic acid, right? But it also is known as, if you look it up, information. It's info. Now, to me, that's very strange because DNA is not a living thing. It is material because you can see it in a lab and you can manipulate it. unlike atoms, which it's kind of debatable whether they exist or not, because there's no information. I mean, there's no visible evidence of it, but based on evidence done in testing, they say there is atoms. So we say we're made of atoms, but we definitely know that we are made of DNA. Now, DNA is information. Now, what does that mean? DNA can separate, that's my version of separation, and bind with other DNA, okay, to create new information, mutations, stuff like that. And eventually, through all that, if you believe in evolution or not, that's besides the point. The point is that we are made of DNA. A modern human being. Okay? This is me and you. Okay? We are made of DNA. Information. Now, another factor in our life that affects us is a virus. Okay? This is a virus. Now, what is a virus? Now, it is non-living, same as DNA. It's not really an entity. It's more like a robot, if anything. If you look it up, it looks very similar to a robot. It looks mechanical. And what does a virus have inside of it? DNA, information. Now, a virus can replicate. It can copy itself. It can actually be used by human beings, manipulated to do what? Well, vaccination is one. That's a positive. You can take some of the original DNA that is found in the virus already and make it weaker and go have vaccinations given to people, which makes them immune, which is good. And if you want it to be evil, you can make it stronger. For what purpose? Well, I don't know, maybe warfare or something like that. But the fact is, the virus is not alive, and neither is DNA. But it affects us, me and you, very much. Just that point alone is kind of strange to me. Okay. Now let's skip the virus and the DNA for a second and say what we are in a material sense. We're a body, okay, and we're also a brain. It's my brain. Not literally, I hope it's not that small or that big compared. It's not drawn on scale. Okay, but we're a body and a brain, okay? Our brain does what? It's a processor. It processes information. Information is what? DNA. Now, DNA is information. It makes us what we are. Correct? In a lot of literature today and on television media says that DNA can determine our personality. It can determine our habits. It can determine, our offspring, stuff like that. Disease, all that stuff. But guess what? Our brain processes information. So the purpose of our brain is to process DNA in a sense. Because what is DNA really? It's information. Now, I know a lot of people might say I'm incorrect and say that sounds stupid, but think about this also. What does our brain do? It thinks, right? When it thinks, it fires off neurons. Neurons are actual things, okay? They're material things. But it causes electricity or electrical signal, okay? So us doing a thing like thinking, which is, in a sense, it's not really a physical, it's a physical thing, but in a sense it's not. It causes a physical action to happen, a physical event. Electricity, because our brain is electrical, very much like a robot, like virus, but a virus is not electrical, but it's similar, an ideal of mechanisms. But electrical signals, equals energy. Okay. Now going back to conservation of energy. You cannot create, destroy energy. It can only be changed. So when you think you are making changes, I got 54 seconds, so let me hurry this. You're making changes, and I spelled that wrong. Okay. Making changes, energy. So energy is made when you think. When you're thinking, you're processing information from the brain, which affects our body. Our body consists of DNA. Okay, DNA incorporates everything in our existence because it makes us who we are, and our brain processes that information, and our brain can also change that information. Okay, which means that whatever we think becomes actual things. That's why we meditate and have simulations. Thinking makes everything that we are. Thinking is everything. Now to draw another ideal is that's someone meditating right there. I don't know if you can see that. That's a meditation. When they meditate, that thought and energy is in the air. Okay? Now this is kind of my opinion. Okay, and it goes along with the idea of the meme, the original term, not the ideal that we pass stupid pictures around on the internet, but the original ideal. Now the original ideal was not supported, but it kind of makes sense if you think about certain things. So when we meditate, now meditation is in a lot of forms. It's in prayer. It's in maybe our physical action. When I do martial arts, that's almost a physical meditation. But you're thinking, and that energy is being used somewhere, and it goes into the atmosphere. Okay? When you're thinking, that energy, just like maybe like phone lines, can connect with someone else. And that idea of the meme kind of comes to mind. That at least the term. When someone poses an ideal and they kind of pass along through speech, it does more than just an audio change. When people hear someone speak, or when someone does an action, it causes a complete change. A good example is Martin Luther King. When he spoke, the things he did, it caused energy, an ideal to form, and it passed along a lot of people. Okay, it spread like a virus. Okay, it contains DNA. Okay, DNA is an ideal. DNA is ideal. DNA is information. Okay. This meme caused a revolution because of one person's thought that thought about it. This thinking is energy. That's why things like axial age happen, and industrial revolution, and all kind of revolutions that happen around the world, because we are connected by thinking. Now there's meditation, which is a more passive form, and there's simulation. Simulation is like meditation, but it takes on a more physical aspect. Okay? I think when you do shadow boxing and martial arts, that is simulation. You're simulating events that have not happened, but you're also creating energy, and that is passed on. Okay? So that's basically my ideal of why there's no impossibility, because everything you think becomes real things. Especially the stronger and the more powerful the energy of your thought is going to cause more change. So that's it. May God bless your way. This is Jeremy Price.